is that shit, man?
State of Decay 2 has a unique take on zombie survival games. Although your core focus is around scavenging items, you must also maintain a small community's well-being. Throughout your adventure, you will deal with friendly and sometimes hostile neighbors, clearing out plague and infested areas, upgrading your base's facilities, all while managing your resources. State of Decay releases on Xbox One and PC on May 22nd for $29.99. Within just a few minutes of playing State of Decay, you will notice that it is a very dark game, and at times it's pitch black. Luckily, every character has a built-in flashlight that you do not have to manage a battery on, but it still is a very dark game, and that kind of leads us to the graphics. Even playing on ultra graphics settings, it leaves a little bit to be desired. Not saying that it looks bad, but it does look a little bit dated for today's standards. Voice synchronization and some actions like filling up the car with gas make it feel like you're playing a much older game. One thing done on spot is the background music. It gives you a sense of this eerie kind of unsettling feel and makes you realize you are very alone. But when you do get into a situation with a ton of zombies, the music can really pick up and make you feel like, hey, I've got to move. After a short intro to the game, you are given a choice between 3 starting locations: the Foothills, Plateau, and Valley Towns. All 3 areas are unique layouts but offer similar gameplay, and your choice does not lock you into that specific location. Unlike a majority of other survival games, State of Decay puts an entire community at your fingertips, allowing you to take control of anyone within your post-apocalyptic family. All members of your community have 4 basic skills, which naturally level up as you play that specific character. At max rank, each one of these skills can have a specialization, and that kind of allows you to customize these characters. In addition to the 4 basic skills, each character can learn 1 advanced skill. These advanced skills are used to improve the quality of life around your home base, and advanced skills can also be upgraded with books found throughout the world or learned with books, but you should really check a character before you recruit them into your community because they might already have a skill, and some of these skills are less important than others. There are 5 main resources that you need to keep your community happy. These 5 resources are gathered by finding rucksacks throughout the world. Specific facilities provide them within your base as well as outposts. You can sometimes gain resources by helping out neighbors, but not always. There are also several other items that can be scavenged and stored in your community supply locker. When followers go out scavenging on their own, they will automatically place these items in that supply locker and will notify you over the radio when they do. Influence is State of Decay's form of currency. It is received from killing zombies, clearing out plague hearts and infestations, as well as completing missions and helping out neighbors.
Just gotta keep at it.
Your biggest drain of influence is when you move from a home base to another home base. It usually costs quite a bit, but luckily influence is fairly easy to come by. Upgrading your base and keeping your community's morale up is also a very big part in managing your community. Making sure you have enough beds for everyone and the right facilities can really help you survive. Along with your base, you can control up to a maximum of 4 outposts. These outposts can provide daily resources such as food and ammo, but some outposts provide your base with water and electricity for a daily cost. Playing with friends is always much more enjoyable, and in State of Decay, it can really improve almost every aspect of the game. You can invite up to 3 other friends to adventure alongside with you. When you join someone else's match, you are then playing in their world and teleport to their location regardless of the map that they are playing on. You only have access to your personal items and characters, and loot is divided when you're exploring the world. Looted items can be put into the locker at your friend's base, but it is your personal storage locker. If you drop off a rucksack at your friend's base, those items will be donated to your friend. So if you keep that rucksack on you, you can then take it to your. Currently, there are many issues and bugs with the multiplayer. Often missions do not work correctly and just disappear when active. Things can become unlootable, the connected player's firearms are very delayed, and headshots can become an issue. There's a lot of rubber banding, and zombies just glitch around and make it very hard to escape. It is fair to say that the multiplayer needs work, and you can be sure that Undead Labs is working on it. While vehicles within State of Decay are not necessarily common, they are pretty easy to spot when using scouting locations. Not only can they provide additional storage space, but they can mow through a herd of zombies pretty effortlessly. Vehicles can be repaired with a toolkit as well that's either made by a mechanic or found on scouting missions. Running over countless zombies or opening your door to hit zombies does quite a bit of damage to your vehicle and will eventually destroy it. So unless you have quite a bit of toolboxes on hand, maybe think about just driving around that occasional zombie, or if you see a giant horde, maybe just try to go around. This can really help you save those resources for when you actually need them. Whether you are playing solo or with a friend, there is a lot of good within State of Decay. Exploring the world, upgrading your base, and stockpiling items for defense really gives you a sense of survival and forces you to make decisions based on your current resources. Combat is also not too punishing. If your character is healthy and rested, there are not too many things that you have to worry about. And with a few melee swings or a single headshot, you can take down most enemies. On the other hand, if your character has trauma and exhaustion, combat can be very difficult. Enlisting a follower to help you out and accompany you during your scavenging missions can really help out with combat as well. Although they're not necessarily a commando and you cannot rely on them to save your life, they do offer a great distraction, allowing you to reload your weapon and kind of get situated, or just take half the zombies away from you, allowing you to do damage. State of Decay does have its fair share of issues. First, when you receive your radio, you are then bombarded with missions, infestations, plague hearts, fights within the community, ruined supplies, and a ton of other updates almost non-stop. And almost every time you're crouched down, sneaking into a building that's full of screamers, your radio goes off and you can no longer hear the zombies, and it really takes you out of that survival mode when you've got this loud blaring radio going off pretty much non-stop. With the radio seemingly random messages, you often find one message overlapping another and you lose half of the original, or a conversation being drowned out by the radio. This makes it very difficult to keep track of what is actually going on, and unfortunately, this is a pretty common issue. The amount of tasks that pop up can also be very stressful at times. Having 6 infested houses, 4 plague hearts, 3 neighbors needing help, and running out of food for your community is a problem that happens way too often. This paired with constant radio notifications can be a bit much at times. Another minor annoyance is if a certain community member has a mission, you must stay on that character until the mission is complete, regardless of their status. Once you start a mission, you cannot even swap to enlisted members because it cancels the mission out. Mission locations are often reused several times. A plague heart, a follower's mission, a neighboring mission, an infestation, as well as a neighboring group of people have all been in the same building at different times. Although there are hundreds of buildings to choose from, a lot of unrelated missions take place in the same location, which can make things feel very repetitive at times. State of Decay is not without its bugs. Although most of them happen when you're playing multiplayer, single player can be buggy at times too. If you are racing around on the roads, invisible bomber Zeds sometimes hit your car and leave you with low health, or if you are at low health, they can even kill you. Picking up 2 missions at once often abandons one of the missions, as well as if your game crashes or you shut down your game while currently on a mission, it sometimes gets lost, and this can be very difficult when trying to level up to that new area. Fighting, scavenging, and survival within State of Decay 2 feels very solid, and even though there are a few downfalls, that $29 price tag gives you a lot of bang for your buck. If you have ever wanted to manage your way through surviving the apocalypse, I strongly recommend picking up State of Decay 2.